Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you another video. All right, so I hear that Bradley Beal got into it with a fan who basically is saying that Bradley Beal battered him, I guess, or it's being investigated for battery. I don't know if this guy's claiming that per se, but the police are investigating the word battery. Essentially, this guy, the fan, said something along the lines of to Bradley Beal, you cuss words, you cost me several dollars parlay or something, you blankety blank. And Bradley Beal slapped the man's hat off of his head and then proceeded to tell him, you think I care about your parlay? I don't play this game for your betting and your parlay. You guys know how I feel overall about the betting in this game. I just think it brings an element to the game that takes the integrity out of it. I just think it does. When you start telling people they can make money around something, you're gonna have the energy that comes with wanting to secure that money. People who need to secure money enter those arenas. That's what people need to understand. Betting is not just regular Joe betting. You're gonna find people who are habitual bettors, habitual gamblers, and things of that nature who have their money wrapped up in other stuff. They can't afford to lose. That's what I understand. It's not about what you necessarily have intended when you allow for betting. It's about these energies and these entities, these people that come in that they're shady in this way, that are not about to be risking nothing when they bet. They are betting, but they have no intention of risking anything, or what they're risking needs to be recouped one way or another. So they're going to rig whatever it is they're in that they can rig. And so you find this type of energy that comes in once you let people bet. And it's just it's something that people have yet to see the wisdom in staying away from. It's just a wisdom about us as a human species to understand that this needs to be just handled either differently or done away with. It's a culture that doesn't necessarily bring us fruit. We love it and it can make us money and it can be really exciting. But when you get to the root of it, it really does have deterioration and destructive methods attached to it, because you just can't keep integrity when you're asking people to bet on something. There's no integrity in that for some reason. It's the greed of people. It's the spirit of chance. It's the fear of missing out on the opportunity. It's the envy of watching someone else win above you. It's just the whole nature of it all, and how much money means to a lot of people, what they're willing to do to get it, and then from there what they're willing to do with it. Some of that money ain't no good. So it's like, when you understand these things from a spiritual standpoint and you watch the world play with these things as if there's no spiritual energy attached to it, and you see it deteriorate because of that, it's like, yo, you're missing a big variable. This is going to bring about deterioration methods to your circumstance. It's not just about, oh, you better believe in the deity I believe in. No, you got to see that these methods, they directly just basically destroy what it is that you're doing. They directly eat away at it. They eat away at the integrity by way of these circumstances that have to come in place when these certain energies come into play. And the bigger the money, the more sway that the market itself, or that the business itself that's allowing the betting, is going to be susceptible to that betting, because at the end of the day, it's a business. So once the money starts coming in, the temptation to the business itself is like, okay, but let me just bring the money in, good or bad, whatever it is, money, more of it. Okay, we're progressing. That is what we need. We can't take steps back, because now we have new bills with the new money that we've made from betting. So now we can't afford to let betting be something of chance. It's the same thing that any betting situation runs into. In Vegas, you keep the light on by making sure that people are coming back for opportunities at chance. If everybody wins every time, you can't keep the lights on. And you can't guarantee that they won't win every time. The odds tell you they don't, but what if it just, you know what I'm saying? What if it just aligns? It'll put you out of business trying to keep the integrity. You know what I'm saying? It will put you out of business. And so that's what I understand. It's like, yo, these things are not thought about. People are too busy making money. They don't care. It's a culture of, yeah, we love it. Just like smoking cigarettes, until people just look around and say, yo, this is bad for us. It's the same thing. It's just another thing that we do because we don't even figure out how to best love ourselves as people. It ain't really deeper than that. And so as I zoom all the way out and bring it into sports, it's like, all right, fine. If we're going to do this in sports, we're still going to play with this energy. We're still bankrupt of the spirit. All right, cool. Let's keep on doing it. But you do understand that you're going to run into a wall. You're going to run into a wall just like every other sin that people dabble in and ain't got no business dabbling into. You're going to run into a wall. Because at the end of the day, sin is a sin for a reason. It ain't just to hold you accountable and make life hard for you. No, it's to keep things intact. Those deterioration tools, those erasal tools, those things that are supposed to wipe stuff away so that new things can be built about. You don't want those tools in place erasing things that you don't want erased. And in my opinion, when you dabble, when you take a game of chance and you incorporate betting into that game of chance, you're asking for that eraser that betting is ultimately going to be, and that ambition that everybody carries when they bring it to that table, you're asking that to start eating away at the integrity of what it is you're actually doing. The game of chance can't be about chance no more, because now we got to rig it so that we can secure the money for all those people and secure that nothing incredibly unprecedentedly lucky happens and puts us out of business. So this is how I look at betting. It's like, y'all can have fun with it if you want, but I know what it comes down to. A lot of people have to suffer for a few people to be successful. Every time you see a yay, it's about 8 other people who went bankrupt. House lost everything, lost family, everything. It's just what it does. And if we're cool with that as a society, then we need to understand what it is that we're cool with. It's bad math. 8-1 is what I'm saying, but that may not necessarily be what it is. But what I'm saying is there's more people that's going to lose than win. And that's just what it has to be in order for it to continue. I don't like it. I like making money. I like winning bets, but I don't like the overall thing. What it does, it ain't for the betterment of humans as a whole. It's not. It's meant to make a few people cool, and everybody else, well, good luck. That's it. And for me, that's like that. We don't need enough. We don't need that involved in basketball. If y'all want to bet on other things outside of the sport of basketball, I don't care. But for something that I love, that's something that I appreciate, it's like, I see where it's going wrong. You know, and I say like anything else, I'm open to being wrong all the time. As soon as I see a new solution, you provide me a variable that I don't see, and all of a sudden sports betting is the best thing in the world. Maybe you show me a variable where all that earnings money is going into something that otherwise no money's manifested. New jobs coming, new feeding coming, new everything. Just from this betting, hey, maybe there's something I'll see now, new wisdom. But until then, this is all I see, man. This is all I see. Low frequency greed. And people with short-sighted mindsets trying to apply something that's going to make a lot of money, but ultimately destroy the subject itself. And I don't know. It's just something that doesn't necessarily have to happen. But then again, when people don't really care what happens after they leave a situation, they'll cash out early, man. They'll mortgage everything in place for their timeline and leave the business to crumble to the ground. And they'll sail off into the sunset with the money that they've earned. Cha-ching for them. Too bad for the rest of you. Just like betting. So no, see the layers of this? No. I'm telling you, man, the NBA makes plenty of money without this nonsense. If people want to bet, let them do it in the dark, man. Don't bring your business to that energy, because I'm telling you, it's going to deteriorate your energy. It's going to deteriorate what it is, the integrity of what you're doing, rather. It's just how many examples do we need across time? That's what I'm asking, for different things, not just this, just everything. How many examples do we need to see this? The world's been spinning the whole time. Ain't nothing new under the sun. So how many times we got to keep seeing certain things before we start saying, you know what, that just should not be applied anymore. It doesn't work. It brings us the worst of energy each time. It brings us the worst of consequences each time. It always ends the same way, no matter how long it lasts. Maybe we should let's develop a creative something else. Let's just come up with something else, a new thing. Is anybody creative anymore? Can we come up with something entirely new? I don't know, man. I just think people are applying old methods, and I'm very, very interested in seeing if what I think is coming is going to be what ends up being the case. When you allow betting in a certain situation, boom, down it goes. So one thing I can, appreciate about the old era, David Stern was not really open to that. He wasn't really open to that. He kind of got this part of the game a little better than it seems like Adam Silver does. You just don't let certain elements in your house, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to protect your house. It's not even deeper wisdom than that. You don't let any old body in your house, do you? You know what I'm saying? So you don't let any old body in your business. Not everybody's methods need to be in your midst. Not everybody's money is good money. You know what I'm saying? You let everybody money in, and guess what ends up happening when that happens? Now, when certain consequences come for people tracing where that money comes from, you know what they're looking at? They're looking at you. Like, why did you take that money from them? Did you know what they were into? When you let betting into your situation, best believe those people are coming in. That's who comes in. I know this inherently, and so should all of us, because it's been seen over and over and over again. So Hey, man, short-term greed equals long-term failure every single time. Y'all better stop mortgaging your futures. You better learn from the parallels that we see on the court when teams do that. Don't do it with the league. Don't do it with the league for a couple bucks, betting bucks, man. I'm telling you, it ain't worth it. You can get that revenue 10 times over just continuing the process that David was on internationally, getting the game all over the place. Take it to India. Take it to the Philippines. Y'all need to invest in these places more. These people will pay money and earn money. That's the thing about it. These leagues will earn money. I don't know why the NBA hasn't invested in more of these international leagues a little more, because these little local people, they love these sports, man. They give whatever they got. They'll earn their money. They give whatever they got. I promise you, they love this stuff deeply. You know what I mean? I see how much the NBA means to the Filipino people every day when I see these links. They got their own thing going on. And if the NBA is smart, they'll tap in. They will tap in. There's billions. And I'm not just thinking about what they have. I'm thinking about what they can earn. You start empowering these people, giving them businesses, start empowering these leagues, and start getting these guys the level of basketball up in these little places. They will pop up little NBAs of their own sort, and they will make their own stars, and they'll do their own G Leagues and all of that. That's where the NBA needs to be doing. Continue to expand the game, man. I'm telling you. Emerging markets. That's where it's at. And then every once in a while, you have our teams face their teams and have a big tournament after that or something like that for the big marbles. A new Lario type of world, FIBA basketball type of NBA cross thing. That's where the real money's at. That's where the real money's at. It's making this basketball sport like soccer. That way the revenue could be in soccer range, Cosmo stuff. Europe loves basketball, so I would make sure Europe had its own NBA. Yeah, they want to come over here for the big bucks, but we're going to start building theirs right now. That way, all that super talent can get to a point maybe 25, 30 years from now where they're just as good as the NBA, if we had that big tournament I'm talking about. I'm telling you, this is how soccer did it. And you're doing it in South America as well. They love the sport. Strengthen their leagues. Man. I'm telling you, I'd be all over the place, strengthening their league, teaching them the principles, letting them develop their own principles and incorporating into what I do. The game is going to evolve so much you don't even know. But we stumped it a little bit by getting involved and turning our attention away from that focus and turning it into how can we can make quick bucks, how we can fluff up the numbers so it can be really, really exciting for everybody really, really right now. And I'm telling you, that is not sustainable. Short-term mindsets about anything you're doing in business is not what you want. You want to think long-term, always. And this betting stuff, it just opens up too much to end your situation. Like I said, these different elements, the possibilities of what could tear you down starts to become more real when certain things are possible. But when you're focusing on other things that continue to build your brand rather than possibly letting darkness into it, oh man, you're going to continue to rise. And then the culture that we have continues to spread by way of the sport. Our understandings, how we interact with one another, the peace that we believe in, the different social norms that we want to hold on to so tight and we want the whole world to as well. This is how you spread that stuff that y'all really believe in. This is how, if you want to know the truth, it's how you get people to believe in some stuff or start to open their minds to different things. It's through the sports, it's through the entertainment. A lot of that stuff has been perverted to do different things, but not for what it could actually do, not for the greatness that it could truly bring to the table. And so this is what I want to see our league do. That's what I want to see the NBA do. That's what I want to see the sport of basketball do. Attach yourself to being better rather than just quick bucks. Quick bucks, this era is going to be over so fast, and all the stuff that people are getting away with, they have no business getting away with, is going to be stuff they can't get away with no more. And then from there, we'll have to adjust. Jump ahead of that. Don't mess with darkness. You know it's going to end bad. Get out of that. And keep on your focus. So that's what I got to say in regards to betting, man. People are too short-sighted. People are too quick to play with bad energy. People are too quick to not be aware of unprecedented bad stuff that could happen when they mess around with bad energy. And that's why bad things happen so often. And people are not aware of it. Like, how did this happen? It's because you let that in the door. You know you shouldn't have. You spent a whole 80 years not letting that in the door. And now you have. All right. We'll get what comes with it. BDL 44. I thank you all for watching.